As a life coach who helps other gay men free themselves from religious shame, I hear this all the time. How has the church burned me? And before I answer that, let me clarify something. When I say church, I always use a capital C, because I'm not talking about one specific congregation or one pastor. I'm talking about the greater religious system and the harm it causes to millions of queer people over time. I'm talking about the anti-gay sermons, the parents who kick their queer kids out and choose the Bible instead of their own family, the ill-informed and dangerous practices of conversion therapy, all of which are done in the name of Jesus, a man who lived over 2,000 years ago and said absolutely nothing about queerness. Now, I've worked with men in their 60s, married to women with children who've known their whole lives that they're gay, and the toll of hiding the truth looks like this: constant anxiety, depression, secret-keeping, shame in their marriages, fear of intimacy, health issues, and even suicidal thoughts. I've also worked with men in their 20s who would rather be unalive than gay, and I understand that struggle because that was once me. I was engaged to a woman when I was 25, convinced that being gay was wrong. I thought that if I prayed hard enough and acted the way a straight man would, that maybe one day I would be good and be straight too. I can't tell you how many nights I prayed to God to either make me straight or take my life. That is what I call death by 1,000 cuts, because every time you think thoughts like that, it changes you on a cellular level. You start to believe the harmful, untrue messages that the church, capital C church, fed you. That your essence as a gay man is detestable, wrong, an abomination, and that the simple existing as yourself would condemn you to hell. The stakes could not be higher. It could not be scarier. And the tragic irony, in trying so hard to save people from hell, many Christians just end up creating hell here on earth for queer people. So when I say that the church burns the queer community, here's what I mean. These are 5 ways it happens. Number 1, by teaching that our identities are sinful. From childhood, many of us hear that being gay or bi or trans is wrong. That message plants shame before we even know who we are. Number 2, by weaponizing fear. The church uses fear of hell, rejection, and eternal punishment to keep people in line, leaving queer people terrified that being themselves is an unforgivable sin. And don't get me started on people who say, I love you, I just don't love your sin, just don't act on it. Because what you're telling me to do is to deprive myself of a basic human need like belonging, like connection, like touch. Number 3, by dividing families and communities. When a parent hears from the pulpit that their child is an abomination, too often they choose doctrine over love. Entire families have been torn apart by these teachings. In fact, a large number of queer kids who come out to their Christian parents are kicked out of their homes the same day. That is not Christ. Number 4, by embedding shame into our bodies and our minds. Even when we walk away from religion, the shame lingers, showing up in our relationships, sex lives, self-worth, and mental health. It's not just belief, it's trauma. And number 5, by fueling systemic harm. Church-backed policies and conversion therapy programs have destroyed lives and justified discrimination. This isn't just about pews and pulpits. It's about power, politics, and oppression. The good news is this: healing is possible. After I came out, it took time, but I finally reached a place where I recognized that my queerness is not a burden to be tolerated, a punishment from God. It's actually a gift from God to be celebrated. Today, I have wonderful friends who value my values. I have a loving and supportive husband, and honestly, I would not be straight if I could. I didn't always feel that way, but I can say with 100% certainty today, that's how I feel. And so if this speaks to you, I would love to hear from you. How has the church burned you? Share your comments below. And if you are ready to start your own healing journey, click the first link below to book a free 10-minute call with me. Let's talk about how you can free yourself from religious shame and start living proud of who you are.